Hi, good afternoon. I'm Maria Karstarfin, the superintendent for Atlanta Public Schools. I'm very excited to be here this afternoon. It's a great day. It's a game-changing day. It's a day where we actually get to see the mission of the district come alive. It's all about college and career readiness, and we are really trying to push a new day in Atlanta Public Schools. I spent a lot of time visiting our schools. I certainly have a good sense of what's going on day to day in APS. And one of the things that I observed out of the box is that we really didn't have a strategy that said that our kids were not only going to get the best supports they could in high school to be ready for college, but that once they got to college, we would get them through college. And this is in part why I believe Achieve Atlanta is such an extraordinary opportunity. When I first started as superintendent, it is Atlanta Public Schools, and we've been through a lot, so there weren't a ton of people lined up to talk to me about partnerships. So you can imagine my delight when folks started stepping forward to talk about how they could help breathe some life into our mission. And so it was a very straightforward conversation. There were a lot of good people from the Woodruff and Whitehead Foundations that had been talking about how to support Atlanta Public Schools more directly for students, but couldn't quite figure out how to close the deal on all of that when APS was already going through a leadership and a governance transition. So it was very exciting to kind of hit the ground and see that people were enthusiastic about doing this work. And so the straightforward idea was basically to give a lot of resources to the notion that students would not only get academic and social emotional supports, but they would absolutely get the chance to get to and through college with people from Atlanta who care about them very much. And so after $20 million and a plan that is very aggressive around college enrollment and graduation rates, we had very high hopes for this partnership. And then it went one step further where many other people started getting involved. I was delighted to see the College Advising Corps become part of the initiative. I was just blown away to see that Tina Fernandez was picked as the leader for this work. Having seen her in Austin and her commitment to children, it just was an opportunity that was really coming together. And most importantly, I had a school board that was willing to take the very big, bold step, the anchor step, and making sure that the mission did change, that we were very clear about not only what we hoped to do, but what APS was going to be expected to do every single day. And that is our mission, to prepare every student to be college and career ready, to make it exciting and wonderful, to make it feel natural and attainable. And I think that through Achieve Atlanta, that is indeed what is going to happen. So I would like to invite Tina Fernandez, the Executive Director of Achieve Atlanta, to come forward. And I just want to publicly thank you for getting into the mix with us, for being available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for putting your kids in Atlanta Public Schools, and for having such a delightful partner in your life who's also working to make other aspects of Atlanta better. So I'd like to say thank you to your whole family and welcome today.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Maria. I can't tell you, I'm really overwhelmed with emotion to see all of you here, and I'm so excited, and I feel like I have gotten to know every one of you through this work and have gotten to just have so many friends to be able to share this mission with. So thank you so much for being here. I am incredibly thrilled to be able to announce the Achieve Atlanta Scholarship Program. And let me tell you why I'm so excited. We have set a goal that in the next 10 years, we're going to double the number of APS graduates who earn a college degree. And the Achieve Atlanta Scholarship is our community-wide declaration that we believe in our students so wholeheartedly that we are willing to invest in them to achieve this goal. We launched in July, and we've been working round the clock to get to know our students and their needs and to start addressing them from day one. And similarly, APS counselors, teachers, Principals, many of whom are in the room today, as well as our college access coaches and advisors, have been working with our students to get them ready for this next step in their lives. What are they going to do after high school? And our students have been busy writing college essays and taking their ACTs and SATs and getting their applications out the door. And the folks in this room will be the first to tell you that our students have big dreams and they have big goals for their lives. But success is not a given. And one of the major barriers to our students being able to achieve their dreams is money. And we know that in Georgia, we have a very generous merit-based scholarship, the Hope Scholarship. But what you may not know is that the Hope Scholarship only covers tuition costs. It doesn't cover room and board, books, fees. And so Hope Scholars can still have a financial gap of $50,000 or more to pay for college. But what's even more alarming is that because it's a merit-based scholarship and because the eligibility requirements get tighter and tighter, only about a third of our students going to college qualify for Hope. So what happens to the rest of them? Where do they turn to find the money to help them pay for their education? Well, up until now, they've had not very good options. One, they could take out mounds of debt, and if they didn't finish college, end up with a lot of debt and no degree. Two, they could start their studies, but then have to leave when their money ran out. Or three, they could put their dreams on hold, sometimes indefinitely. Well, today, we are excited to say that that changes. And we are going to provide scholarships to every single APS graduate who demonstrates financial need and gets into college. And we're super, super excited about that. We did a ton of research and financial modeling to figure out what's the right amount of scholarship that's going to get a kid to and through college and help them avoid taking out high-interest private debt. And you'll have all the details of the scholarship at the website and also on the flyers on your chair. But just bottom line, APS students that are going to a technical or a two-year college or university will be able to get $1,500 a year for 2 years to help pay for their education. And APS students going to a four-year college or university will be able to get up to $5,000 a year, renewable every year for 4 years to help them pay for college. And here's the most exciting thing about all of this. We anticipate that this fall, 900 APS graduates will walk onto a college campus with an Achieve Atlanta scholarship. But this is just the beginning, because while we know that these scholarships are going to be game changers, we know that money is not going to be enough to get these kids through. And so, in addition to providing scholarships, Achieve Atlanta will ensure that every student has a counselor and advisor to help them navigate through all of the responsibilities of being a college student. And this will include things like helping students register for classes and pick their major. It will help them figure out when they get a bad grade on an assignment or a test, who do they turn to, what do they do? It will also coach students on how to have those crucial conversations with professors and their roommates and all of the people that they're going to encounter in college. But probably most importantly, it's going to help connect our students to a sustaining community. And this is where all of you are critical. I have been blown away by how generous and giving this community is. And I feel so blessed to be part of such a giving city and a giving community and a giving district. And all of you can help ensure that our students feel that same love every step of the way. And so while we're excited about the milestones we've achieved so far, we know that there is so much more that we need to do. And we're going to be reaching out to all of you to help engage in this work. But for today, we really just wanted to gather all of you to say thank you for helping us get to this day, to my wonderful staff, to my amazing board, to the Whitehead Foundation and the Community Foundation, to APS teachers, counselors, administrators, folks in the central office, to our nonprofit partners, and most importantly, to our students. Thank you so much. And in a few moments, you're going to get to hear from one of my personal heroes, Dr. Beverly Tatum, former president of Spelman. She is on our board of directors, and she was instrumental in designing this scholarship. But before we invite Dr. Tatum to come speak, we thought it would be great for you to hear from one of our students, Alima Dawkins. Alima is a senior at South Atlanta High School, and she is one of the hundreds of students who will be eligible for the Achieve Atlanta Scholarship. So please help me in welcoming Alima.
Good afternoon. As was mentioned earlier, I am Alima Dawkins, and I am a senior attending South Atlanta High School. It is such an honor to be here and be able to represent the students of Atlanta Public Schools, and also to highlight all of the work Achieve Atlanta is doing to help me as well as other students. APS has a very special place in my heart. And I am proud to say that I come from a household of APS scholars. I have 5 siblings, a younger sister who is a junior at South Atlanta, 2 little brothers who attend Best Academy, and 1 baby brother who goes to Humphreys Elementary School. If you were keeping count, I have an older brother in college in Florida. I always accredit our affinity for learning to my mother, who homeschooled me until I matriculated to middle school. As I grew up, I knew that college was expected of me, but my parents never really had a conversation with me to tell me how I would meet that expectation. My parents both graduated from college, but they were the first in their families to do so, and the routes that they took to access higher education weren't really traditional. For instance, my mother's time at Fort Valley was cut short when she decided to start a family, only to return years later to school and earn a master's degree in education. While my father served 4 years as a Marine before attending Morris Brown College and ultimately ending up with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. My parents do the best they can to aid me in my college application process, but in many ways this is all new to them. I remember one day my mother told me that she didn't even see a college campus until her first day at Fort Valley. It wasn't until my 11th grade year that I started thinking about what I would do after high school. After being exposed to the different options I had for post-secondary education, none stood out to me more than liberal arts institutions. Last year, I spoke with a college access coach about a few options, and later we were able to compile a list of schools that I was a good fit for. And since then, I have narrowed that list to 4 colleges. And this year, my college advisors have been very helpful in my college application process. Ms. Hart helped me study for the ACT, and Ms. Stiles played a crucial role in helping me revise and develop my essays for college as well as scholarships. I am extremely proud and thankful to say that I have been accepted to Georgia State University, Clayton State University, Wagner College, Simmons College, Hollins University, and as of late last week, my first choice, Sarah Lawrence College. Thank you. I remember the unique feeling I had receiving my first acceptance to Georgia State. I literally jolted out of my seat in the middle of class. It was really embarrassing. Being accepted to my first choice was even more momentous. It was probably the happiest moment of my life. And seeing my mom's eyes well with tears let me know that I put my 4 years to good use. I want to thank the efforts of Achieve Atlanta and say a few words on behalf of all APS students at the top and bottom of their class. Do not give up on us. Students succeed from having someone, family, teachers, advisors, counselors, and even people who we don't see believe in us and willing to support us through ways that sound nice but also ways that genuinely help. This scholarship addresses a real financial need for students that have dreams but need help making those dreams come true. This time next year, I will be in college studying film and political science because I love both disciplines, but also because I value the role film plays in promoting social change. I want to help create stories that focus less on making Black people hypervisible and focus more on making Black people human. In a similar way, the Achieve Atlanta Scholarship speaks to a willingness to see me and my classmates as more than first images suggest, and instead believe in our very real and powerful potential. I thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts, and on behalf of all students this scholarship will benefit, I am grateful. Thank you.
I have to say that is a very tough act to follow. But it also makes my point, which is to say the future belongs to young people like Alima we just heard from, and we need to support them. I am delighted to be here as a member of the board of Achieve Atlanta, and I want to begin by certainly thanking our philanthropic supporters and the Atlanta Public Schools, but of course Tina Fernandez for her leadership in getting us so far so fast. So let's give her a round of applause. As many of you know, I served as president of Spelman for 13 years, and during that time, one of my major concerns was helping students graduate. So many young people are talented, have visions, have dreams, get to college, and then are not able to finish, particularly those who are coming from low-income, Pell-eligible families, those who are struggling to figure out how to pay that tuition, even at a modestly priced institution such as Spelman. And the fact of the matter is, often the difference between success and failure, or at least temporary setback, is a relatively small amount, like $5,000. We know, in fact, the United Negro College Fund, UNCF, has done research to show that graduation rates would double for students if they had just another $5,000. So this is very exciting to stand here knowing that this scholarship, which is intended to be combined with other scholarships provided by institutions and Pell Grants and other sources of funding, are really going to make the difference for so many students, 900 APS students this spring. So I'm very pleased and honored to be part of this effort, and certainly excited that not only is this going to help 900 young people who would be, that would be exciting no matter where they were from, but given that they are from Atlanta, means that this city is investing in its young people in a way that will ensure its future. We know that the 21st century requires a college education or some post-secondary education in order to be successful. It is not possible to overlook the kind of talent that we see daily in Atlanta Public Schools without undermining the success of our own city. So it seems to me very exciting for all of us to be able to say not only that 900 students this year and the following year and the year after that will be able to achieve their individual dreams, but we as a city will be able to achieve our collective dreams because of our investment in them. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your efforts to make this dream a reality.
So thank you again, Dr. Tatum, for being here and for always your eloquent words. Before we close out, on behalf of the chair of the board, Courtney English, who could not be here today, I'd like to introduce our board. If it weren't for them, we probably wouldn't have a mission that was child-centered and focused, so that is such a good thing. I'd like to introduce tonight's chair, but real vice chair, Nancy Meister, Stephen Lee, Matt Westmoreland, please stand, Cynthia Briscoe-Brown, and Leslie Grant. And I just, only because we had a wild time in Denver together looking at ways to help shape this design, I wanted to just publicly acknowledge some of the members of the Woodruff and Whitehead Foundation. Lizzie Smith, where is she? Please stand. Russ Harden, Leslie Grady, and Alicia Phillips. That's you right there. Yes. So please recognize them. They are the people that long before I was superintendent and before we had our new mission already knew that this was a high need for Atlanta and something that would really be a game changer in our kids' lives. So I just really appreciate y'all stepping up and doing all of that. So thank you. And then I would just like to say that I spend a lot of time in our schools, but I spend a lot of time with our students, and they are adorable. They really are. They just know how to steal your heart, and I work every day because of all that they deserve, that they have not received in the past, but certainly deserve for the future. So I hear them all the time say things like, if I had a tiny bit more of financial assistance, or if I just knew how to do the application process, or if, I just had time to study for the SAT or the ACT and not have to go work a job, or if I just had an advisor or a counselor or a teacher or someone who cared enough about me to help me figure this out, like, I would make you proud. I would go do this. I could do this. And so I've been watching one young man from a very challenged family circumstance fight his way to college, and I just want to say thank you, Achieve Atlanta, for making that possible for so many more kids. So thank you for being here. And do you have questions for us? Can you come up, please, Tina, and probably like someone from Whitehead, Woodruff, anybody who wants to explain a little bit more about how it works? Okay. Yes, hi, Maria.
Sure. So 900 scholarships we're going to give out this year, but we won't achieve our doubling the number of graduates for another, I guess depending on whether they're going to a 2-year, a technical, 4-year, or some students graduate in 5 or 6 years. So we're really looking at the long trajectory of this. But right now, what we anticipate is that in 10 years, 3,000 students will have their degree with an Achieve Atlanta scholarship, and another 3,000 will be on track to get their degree. So those are the numbers that we're projecting right now. Any other questions? Yes. Always. Yes. So we are committed to the scholarship program over the long term, and the Whitehead Foundation has provided a seed grant to get us going, and the expectation is that we will be able to go back for additional funding. But we also know that this has got to be a community-wide effort, and so you will definitely be hearing more from me about how to get involved with the scholarship. So I know Maria has a lot more to do today, so do you. Yeah. So thank you for coming. Take your cookies and spread the word. Please put it on social media. Let every APS student you know. There's T-shirts in the back, so grab your T-shirts. And thank you guys so much for being here today.